Hey everybody, welcome to Always Bored, Never Boring, and my third and final playthrough of Space Marine Adventures Labyrinth of the Necrons. I've already played through levels 1 and 2 of the adventure successfully, so we are now going to be playing level 3, in which we finally face the Necron Overlord. If you haven't seen the previous videos, you may want to go away and do that first, because the first video in particular I talk about all the rules of the game and everything, and this time I'm just kind of going to dive straight into it. So the third scenario is ever so slightly different to previous scenarios. In the previous scenarios you had to get to a control panel, hack the control panel to find your way out of the labyrinth. In this particular case, rather than a control panel, we have here a Necron Overlord. A Necron Overlord is a very powerful enemy. It has a resilience of 6, which means you need 6s to hit him. Each time you hit him, he takes a hit point. You need to hit him 3 times to kill him. Once he is killed, these 3 tokens will flip over, and one of them will reveal the exit. We then have to get off of the map before this deck of cards runs out. The other major difference is that right from the start, the dungeon is a little bit more dangerous, because rather than just having warriors on the board, you randomly draw from all of the available enemies. So we have Necron warriors here, here, and here. We have Necron immortals here, which have a resilience of 4. And we have down here a Necron Lich Guard. Other than that, it's the same as before. So we've got our 4 heroes, our 4 Space Marines, with their cards laid out here. They will have a special ability that you can use whenever. They also have a single-use action card. This time around, Brother Frostclaw has got a crack grenade. This is a one-time use grenade that you can use on any Necron within 4 squares. There's no requirement for line of sight. You can lob it over other things. You roll a dice, and on a 2 or more, the Necron is destroyed regardless of its resilience. Obviously, in the case of the Overlord, that means it will take a wound rather than being outright destroyed. But yeah, it's a good way of clearing a speed bump out of your way, or getting an extra hit on that Overlord, because we want to get him dead as soon as possible. For Brother Grimm, we have only in death does duty end. This is a very cool ability. When he takes a wound, because every Space Marine can take 2 wounds before they die. When he takes his first wound, he basically gets an extra action for the rest of the game until he is healed, or obviously he dies. This is useful for Brother Grimm, because Brother Grimm only gets 3 actions as standard, whereas all of the other Marines get 4. So if he takes a wound, he gets his extra action, he becomes a lot more useful, especially as he has the Heavy Bolter, which is incredibly powerful. For Brother Gabriel, we have the Nathisium. It's always good. By the way, these cards were allocated in as much as you draw 2 for each Space Marine, so 8 total, and then you pick 1 for each Space Marine from the ones you've drawn. So that's how we arrived at these cards. I didn't get to pick exactly what I wanted. But anyway, this is a single-use ability that allows you to turn a Space Marine from his wounded side to his healed side. So it basically gives him his hit point back. Not necessarily want to be using that on Brother Grimm, because obviously he would lose his ability, but I foresee taking some damage in this particular dungeon, because we've got a lot more powerful enemies kicking around. Finally, we have this ability, which is specifically for Sergeant Cassius, and when you play it during Cassius's turn, his actions characteristic increases to 5, and you get to add 1 to the dice when he performs an attack action. So that's going to be a really good thing if I can get him within range of the Overlord, because I can use this ability. He gets his actions go up to 5, and every attack he makes is at +1. If he's adjacent to an enemy, he gets +1 on the dice anyway. So if I can get him adjacent to the Overlord, because he has an always-on ability that he uses his power sword, and he's stronger. So if I can use that in association with that, I'm going to be hitting that Overlord on 4 pluses rather than 6 pluses. So good chance to really take him down quick. And that's it. We are good to go. The way the game works, each turn I will draw a card from this activation deck. And that will tell me whether it's a Space Marine activate or the Necrons activate. Necrons don't move, but they spawn, and as they spawn, they fill up the dungeons. You will see that happening as we go. And that's it. We are ready to begin the first turn. Okay, I've just rejigged my shot slightly just to make sure nothing gets cut off at the top of the screen, and we are ready for turn 1. So we draw an activation card and it is immediately a Necron activation. So we draw one of these cards. And it says, it's upside down. It's a chrono field. The next Space Marine who has a turn, whether in this round or the next, misses their turn. Place this card face up next to the board until the end of the next round as a reminder. So we're just going to pop that there. And we're going to immediately draw our next card. It is Brother Grimm, who unfortunately does nothing. He's at the front of the line. He had his heavy bolter ready to start shooting stuff. And then he just gets to stand there. But the chrono field is now deactivated. So that's it. Next, we have our Ultramarine hero. And what are we going to do? He's got 4 actions. He gets a benefit if he is adjacent to enemies. So he's going to go... an action is moving 1 space or attacking. So he's going to go 1, 2, because you're allowed to step over your friends. For his 3rd action, we are attacking. This warrior has a resilience of 3. But because of my +1 bonus for being adjacent, I only need a 2 or more. And I've rolled a 5, so that kills him. He goes back into the bag, ready to be summoned at a later date. I have 1 action left. I do not want to stand on the teleport spaces because that's never a good thing, but I can do a ranged attack. I have a range of 4 with my pistol, 1, 2, 3, 4, so I can take a shot at this warrior, sorry. And that's what I'm going to do. And I've rolled a 1, so it's a complete miss. But worse things have happened, and indeed will happen. Next turn. It's the Blood Angels. Now, Brother Gabriel has an ability. He has an Auspex, so what I can do every time he activates is I can look at the top one of these Labyrinth cards, which is very useful. Because the next one is Living Metal. If the Overlord is on the board, remove 1 damage counter from him if he has any, then draw another Labyrinth card and resolve its effects. Okay, so there's no point taking any damage tokens off of the Overlord until that card has been played. Brother Gabriel now has 4 actions. He has a range of 6 when he's shooting. So he's going to go 1, 2, obviously. And he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's got 2 actions left. He can take 2 shots on this warrior. He's allowed to shoot through as many of his friends as he wants to. That's a 4, and that is a kill. So you've killed that warrior. That's also a good thing. I have 1 action left that I cannot do anything with because you cannot finish your turn in the same space as another Marine. Next activation. It's our Blood Angel again. Unfortunately, there's no point doing the Auspex because we've already seen the card. He is just going to get out of the way, I guess. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Because he doesn't want to end on that teleport space, but he doesn't want to get stuck at the back. He needs to get out and about into action. Next card. Necron activation. So we know that the first card is the Living Metal, which heals the Overlord, so that goes away. But it does say draw and resolve a 2nd card. So we draw another one, and it is Necron Reinforcements. We must place a Necron minion counter on Translocation Square 1. Translocation Square 1 has a minion on it already, so in that case we have to spawn on every adjacent empty space. So I have to draw 2 tokens. We will start by placing to the north, and it is a warrior. And now to the west, and it's another warrior. But that's it for the Necrons. Next card. Necrons again. It's an invasion beam. This is nasty. We have to place 1 Necron minion counter on Translocation Square 3, and then place 1 on Translocation Square 6. So 3 is empty, so we will only be spawning 1 on there. Luckily, our Blood Angel cleared that space off. Whoops. It is a warrior. Not too bad. Down on Translocation Square 6, there is an enemy on the space, but there is only 1 adjacent space, so that's okay. And look, it's another Lich Guard. They're having a tea party or something down in the corner. And that's it. Next card. Really? There's only 4 of these in the activation deck, so at least we know that every other card in the deck is going to be my guys and I get a chance to fight back. Invasion Beam, Translocation Square 1, and then Translocation Square 4. That's nasty, isn't it? So first of all, Translocation Square 1 is full up, so we're going to have to spawn here and here. You can see very quickly, you can fill up the passageways with enemies. So to the north, that's a Lich Guard. And to the west, that's just a warrior. And then Translocation Square 4 is empty. And it is just a warrior, thankfully. Right, I've now got a whole bunch of activations that I need to use to just clear some space. It's Brother Grimm. Brother Grimm is going to start shooting. He gets a bonus to his dice if he is attacking at range. So we're going to start by shooting at this warrior here. Normally I would need a 3, but I will be killing on a 2. That's a 4. That kills. For my second activation, I'm going to shoot at this guy. Brother Grimm has a range of 8, so he can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He can actually shoot anything on this row. So we're going to start with this warrior. Again, needing a 2. And we've rolled a 3, so that kills him. My final action, I am going to shoot at the Necron Immortal. Needing a 3. Naturally, rolled a 2. But okay, we cleared some translocation squares out again. And we've cleared the way for some of the other guys to get involved. We have our Ultramarine hero. What is he going to do? He is going to start. He's going to go 1, 2, 3. And he's going to take a shot at this Necron Immortal, which requires a 4 or more to kill. And that's a 6. Shame we weren't shooting at the Overlord. That's my 4 actions. As you can see, this game moves incredibly quickly. We have our Space Wolf. Space Wolf has 4 actions. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And the reason I'm finishing on the translocation square is because I know that this next card is another Space Wolf card, so I can immediately get him back out of dodge. Like so. He's going to go 1, 2. And the reason he's going here is because he gets a free attack action against an adjacent Necron. It says here. It says Frostclaw can perform 1 free attack action in each of his turns, but only against a Necron that is in a square adjacent to him. So he basically gets 5 actions this round. He's gone 1, 2, 3. Sorry, 1, 2. Free action is 3. We need a 3 or more. He's failed it, but he has 2 more actions. So for his 4th action, that's a 6. That's a kill. He's got 1 action left, so he's going to use it to shoot, because he does have a gun as well, and he can shoot up to range 6. We're just going to take a crack at this Lich Guard here, requiring a 5. It's a 3, but it was worth a shot. It was worth the effort. And that finishes the round. So what we do now is we will shuffle these activation cards and go again. So I have shuffled the activation deck and we are ready for the second round. At the moment, I have a clear throughway to the Overlord. So what I want to do is try and put as much damage on that Overlord as possible before enemies start spawning in these gaps again and getting in the way. So first of all, we have our Ultramarine. Now, he has the ability that allows him to gain an extra characteristic, an extra action characteristic, and add +1 to his dice rolls. But if I use that now, it's going to take me 3 actions to get in. I would have 2 actions to attack. What I think I want to do, I'll go 1, 2, and I'm going to shoot at the Overlord twice, which would require 6s to hit. But then what I can do is the next time my Ultramarine activates, even if there's something there, I mean, I can activate this ability, should be able to kill what's there, move in, and still get a couple of powerful hits on that Overlord, which might be enough to do it. But yeah, so I'm just going to take some shots from here, needing 6s. I've rolled a 6. Good gravy boats. That's 1 wound on the Overlord. I have 1 action left. Let's see if I can do it again. Wonders will never cease. No. Just the 1, but that is 1 more than I was actually expecting to get. Second activation. I am vexed. It's the Space Wolf. He's... what do I want to do with him? It's probably a good idea to get him down here and start dealing with that, isn't it? So if I go 1, 2, I get a free attack. I require a 5 to kill this Lich Guard. That's a 1, but I have 2 more goes. Again, requiring 5s. Nope. And again. No. Okie dokie. That was a bad call. Maybe I should have crack grenaded. I still can crack grenade, but do I need to? If we spawn on this location again, the new spawn will actually happen here. It won't go up here. So he's actually safe at the moment. So I guess I'm going to leave it for now. I can always crack grenade on a future round. Necrons. We are getting Chronofield. The next Space Marine who has a turn misses their turn. I had one of those already. But that's it. There is no... Yep, no, that's all that happens. Oh, okay. So it is Brother Gabriel. It would have been nice to have been able to check the all specs to see what was coming up. It also would have been nice to take some shots at this Lich Guard down here. But as it stands, Brother Gabriel takes a nap. And we go on to the next round. It is Brother Grimm. He is in range of the Overlord, isn't he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he can take a shot. He might as well. He gets a +1 to this, so he's requiring 5 or more to wound. Miss. Let's go again. That's a miss. Let's go again. That's a miss. Seriously, he is just spraying and praying and achieving nothing. Awful. But he gets to go again. Let's go again. Needing 5s. I'm going to advance 1 space because he can't stay in the car in the stairwell forever. He's got to eventually get towards a door. And a miss. Utterly useless. I think that Overlord must have some kind of defensive force field. I can't possibly believe that my Imperial Fist Heavy Gunner is that poor a shot. Next card. Oh, here we go. Here comes the retaliation. It is Necron Reinforcements. Place a Necron minion counter on translocation square 6. That is actually very, very nice. That could have been a lot worse. It's a warrior. Again, that could have been a lot worse too. Right. Next, it's the Space Wolf. He's going to immediately take his free action against this Lich Guard, needing a 5. Missed. Attack again, needing a 5. No. Again. There's the 5. He has 2 actions left. 2 actions left. He's going to shoot at this warrior, because he can shoot diagonally. And he's got 2 actions left. So yeah, we'll shoot this warrior, needing a 3. That kills him. And he has 1 shot left, so he might as well take a shot at that Lich Guard that's sitting on translocation square 6. Needing a 5. No. No, not at all. Next, it's the Ultramarine. I've got to go for it, haven't I? After my heavy bolter completely fluffed it, I'm going to activate my special ability. He gets 5 actions and +1 to all of his dice rolls for this turn. So, 1. We now have 4 attacks on the Overlord. I already get +1 to my dice roll, and I get another +1 for my special ability. So this is 4 rolls needing 4s or more. That's 1 miss. That's a hit. That's our second wound. 2 more attacks. That's it. That's a kill. That is our 3rd wound on the Overlord. The Overlord dies, and I still have 1 action left. So what happens at this point in the scenario is the Overlord is removed from the board. Bye-bye. And we have to flip all of these other tokens. And what I really have to cross my fingers and hope for is that this is our way out, because that's the easy way to go. Well, that way is still blocked. There's our exit. Of course it is. Of course that's our exit. And yeah, so this way remains blocked. Oh dear. Right, I have 1 action left, so I'm going to step down there off of the translocation spot. Next card. It's our Blood Angel. He gets to use his all specs. It says, my will be done. Place 1 Necron minion counter on each of the 6 translocation squares in order, starting with translocation square 1. So my will be done goes back on top of the deck, having spied on it with our all specs. And now my Blood Angel gets 4 activations. We need to get down here and clear a route, don't we? So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And just make a run for it. He's really out of the way. I really would have been nice if that door had been the one. But I guess that was never going to happen with my particular brand of luck. Next activation. Necrons. So, we know that it is my will be done. So, what have we got? We start on space 1. We can't spawn up here, but we can spawn this way. So, we have a warrior. Spawn 2 is above the Ultramarine. It is an immortal. Spawn 3 over here is a warrior. Spawn 4 directly in front again. Another speed bump for the guy who's already slow as it gets. We have, and it's an immortal. And of course now he's adjacent to the immortal, which means he won't get his bonus when shooting either. Hey ho, space 5. It's an immortal. And space 6, we don't spawn on here, we spawn on here. And it is a warrior. Right, there we go. Next, it's another Necron activation. And Phase Shifter. If the Overlord is on the board, he has a resilience of 7. If the Overlord is not on the board, draw another Labyrinth card instead. Necron Reinforcements. Place a Necron minion counter on translocation square 4. Oh, darn. Translocation square 4 is filled up, so we will get 1 Necron spawning here. It's another immortal, but we can't spawn one this side, which means Brother Grimm takes a wound. On the plus side, that does mean we get to now activate only in death does duty end, which gets him an extra activation for the remainder of the game or until he is healed. But if I don't get to do something with him soon, he's going to die horribly, and then my chance of a glorious victory is snatched away. Right. Let's shuffle these cards up and hope for the best. Here we go. The activation deck has been reshuffled, and looking at the table, my Space Marines are very spread out and not in very good positions to help each other at all. But hey, never mind, eh? Never mind. Let's get going. Space Wolf. Okay. Right, he's got... Okay, let's start by doing a free attack on this Immortal that requires a 4 to kill. That is a 4. He was just out of shot. So that kills him. That was his free attack. I've now got another 4 actions. So I'm gonna I'll attack this warrior, requiring a 3 to kill. So that's killed him. And I guess I'm going. What I want to do is kind of make it easier for this guy to get going. So I'm going to shoot this guy here. I've used 2 actions so far, and 1 was a free action. So I've got 3 actions left. So I'm going to shoot at this guy, requiring a 4. Nope. We'll go again, requiring a 4. That's killed him. And I've got 1 move left. I've got 1 action left. I'm going to take a shot at this Lich Guard here. It requires a 5. Did it! Oh my goodness. My Space Wolf has suddenly learned how to fight. Lovely. Second activation. Oh, unbelievable. It's a double whammy from the Space Wolf. So we're going to go 1, 2. Free attack, requiring a 3. Knew it couldn't last. That's 2. I've got 2 actions left, so we'll take another attack. And that's a 5. So that kills that. I have 1 attack left, so I'm going to shoot at the next warrior in line, again requiring a 3. And that's another one. Over the course of 10 actions, that Space Wolf has done good work, shall we say. Let's see what the Necrons can do to ruin my day. Ooh, Ultramarine. Right. There's a guy up here on Translocation Square 2. I want to get rid of him as a priority. So, yeah, Chainsword attack, which gives me a +1. So I need a 3 or more to kill this Immortal. That's a 5. Dice are really starting to go my way. I have got 3 actions left. So we're going to go down here. And then we're going to attack the Lich Guard. Normally requires a 5, but with my Chainsword requires a 4. That's a 1, but I get 1 final attack. And that's double 1. As soon as I say my luck is starting to change, here come the 1s. And here we go. Now the Necrons are coming back. We have got Necron Reinforcements. Place a Necron minion counter on Translocation Square 3. Naturally, there's already a minion on it, so I am spawning here, here, and here. We'll start here, then go here, then go here. That's a Lich Guard. That's a warrior. And that's a warrior. That could have been worse. Could have been worse. Blood Angel. Right. Start by using our Auspex. Our Auspex is Reanimation Protocols. Until the end of the next round, the resilience of all Lich Guards is increased to 6. So this guy and this guy will become resistance 6. Right. But now I have 4 actions. So I guess for my first action I'll attack this warrior, requiring a 3. Naturally I roll a 2. Again. And there's another 2. Let's go again. And that's 3 2s in a row. Oh my god. Let's do it. I'm gonna stay where I am. I'm gonna attack again. There's a 3. In a minute, he's going to get the red rage. And that ends his activation. Next. Necrons again. Come on. Give me a break. So, It is. The reanimation protocols come into effect. So now this will be in effect for the rest of going through this deck, and then when we go through it again a second time, because it's until the end of the next round. So not the end of the current round, but the end of the next round. So that's quite annoying. That's going to be there for a little while. Put them over there. But at least I don't have to draw another card or anything. So next activation. It's Brother Grimm. He has to kill this immortal. He doesn't get any bonus against this. He just needs a 4. 4. Brother Grimm. Showing folk how it's done. And he's got 3 actions left. One, 2, 3. I think that's got to be the best thing to do. It doesn't really matter if this row fills up now. I need to get down here. So yeah, book it. Next, so Ultramarine again. Now Ultramarine is attacking a Lich Guard, but the Lich Guard has the reanimation protocols in effect. So he is now a 6, but I get +1 for my chainsword. So we are going for 5s. First attack. 1. Second attack. That's a 6. For my third attack, I'm going to shoot. I won't get my +1 bonus, but I don't want to get into a position where if Translocation 1 spawns, I don't want to take a wound. So I'm going to shoot from around the corner, requiring a 3. And that's a kill. I have 1 action left, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to move here. And hope that we can clear out Translocation Space 1 before I get hurt. Next. Oh, it's Brother Grimm again. 1, 2, 3. Fourth action, he's going to shoot this warrior here, requiring a 2 to kill. And he gets it, just. His aim has been atrocious in this game. That fourth action is really useful for him. Next card, it's our Blood Angel. So we're going to start by using the Allspecs again. And it's Necron reinforcements on space 2, so they're going to come in here. That doesn't actually cause me any problems at the moment. So I'm going to go... What's my range for Brother Gabriel? 6. Okay, so I'm going to go 1, 2. I'm going to shoot this immortal for my third action. I rolled a 4. That is enough to kill the immortal. And I have 1 action left, so I may as well try and shoot this warrior here, because it will make life a little bit easier if we get a spawn up there. So, shooting, requiring a 3. And that's a 6. Bang. Now we're cooking with gas. We have just massively cleared out the dungeon here. Things are looking okay. There's quite a few cards left in the deck. And at the moment, clear escape route. We just have to hope that we don't take another wound on Brother Grimm, because he's precariously close to a spawn point. Next, Necrons. Necron reinforcements on spawn point 2. Oh yeah, we knew that. We knew that because we all spexed. So we put 1 on spawn point 2, and that is it. That's the extent of it. It's an immortal. And then this will be a Necron one as well, and it is. Necron reinforcements. Place a Necron minion counter on Translocation Square 1. Luckily, we just cleared out Translocation Square 1, so worse things could have happened. But now watch as we drop a Lich Guard on there who refuses to die for the rest of the game. Oh no! My luck is really, really holding out at the moment. But that is it. That is the end of the round. Reanimation protocols will remain in effect, but we're going to reshuffle this deck again. So before we begin the next round, I've just realised I didn't put this other board section down. So we're going to move a few things around. We'll get rid of the Overlord card now because he's dead. I'm going to put that board there. You might as well take that counter off. So that's the board that I'm trying to get all of my Space Marines on in order to win the game. I just have to get on there now before this deck runs out. Let's get going. Necrons. Reanimation protocols. Until the end of the next round, the resilience of all Necron warriors is increased to 4. So I've got Lich Guard are resistance 6 and warriors are resistance 4. So, yep, everything's getting tougher. On the plus side, nothing spawns. Oh, good. Necron reinforcements on spawn point 4. Spawn point 4 is up here. That's actually really, really good for me because I don't care what spawns over there. In fact, I want a Lich Guard to spawn over there because it means there's one less Lich Guard to come and bother me elsewhere. Nope, it's just a warrior. Just a warrior. Right. Bring out the big guns. So I'm going to start. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and then shoot with my 4th action. I get +1 on this, so I require a 3. There's a 6. Take your reanimation protocols and stuff them. But that's it. I'm out of actions. It's my Ultramarine. He's just going to book it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Necrons. Reanimation protocols. Until the end of the next round, the resilience of all immortals is increased to 5. Okay, so yeah, everything's angry, but again, that means nothing spawns. So I don't mind. That kind of works in my favour. I mean, yeah, if something spawns in a minute on there, I'm going to be in trouble. But as long as they keep strengthening up and then not actually coming into play, I'm happy. Space Wolf. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do I want to land on the space? No, I don't. 1, 2, 3. We'll just stand there because we're chickens. Blood Angels. Alright, this is good because we get a little look at the all specs. Scarab Swarm. Until the end of the next round, all Space Marines are able to perform 1 less action than normal. That's a horrible card. I had that in the last video that I did in this series. Right at the very end, we got Scarab Swarmed and it got tense. Properly tense. But okay, I still get my Blood Angels activations. So he's got 4. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And he gets to go again. There's no point doing the all specs because we know what it is. He's just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And at least we know he's got home safely. And here's our Imperial Fist, our gunner. He's going to go 1, 2, 3. He can't use his last action because he can't end on top of the Ultramarine. I think we've got this in the bag. We lucked out with the reanimation protocols. I can't see. Here's our Space Wolf. I can't see them doing anything with us now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Space Wolf is home. All we've got to do is get that Imperial Fist off of the board. Next, it is the Necrons, and we know that it is the Scarab Swarm, so everyone will be taking 1 less action. So he is back down to his previous 3. And here's our Ultramarine. He's going to go 1, 2, pop himself there. And that's the end of the round. So we're going to do one final shuffle, but really, this is a somewhat anticlimactic finish to the playthrough, I would say. So here we are in the final, somewhat anticlimactic round. The reanimation protocols for the Lich Guard go away because they're no longer in effect, but all of these other cards stay in effect for this round. We draw our first card. It's the Ultramarine. He does nothing. He's just chilling. The Necrons activate. And it is a spawn on Translocation Square 3. There is nothing on Translocation Square 3 because this dungeon is somewhat quiet. We have been very lucky in as much as we got all of the special abilities that make minions stronger when there were no minions on the board. If you get those cards the other way around, so you spawn loads of minions and then you get the cards that make them strong, this playthrough could have been very, very different indeed. It's the Necrons again. Necron reinforcements on Translocation Square 6. Again, it's really not achieving anything. At this point, all these overpowered Necrons are turning up, but, and it is a Lich Guard. They're turning up, looking around going, what? Did we miss something? And there we go. There is our Imperial Fist player. He will walk one step onto the stairwell. All 4 Marines have escaped. They have gone through 3 levels of the Necron Labyrinth. They have slain the Overlord and they have escaped as one. Which, according to this card here, all 4 Space Marines are on the new stairway tile. The team has won a major victory. And that means I've actually won 3 major victories on camera, which is a major victory for me because that sort of thing just doesn't happen normally. And there we go. That is the 3 levels that you play through, and you can play those individually, as I have done in this playthrough series with these videos. But that's not all the game has to offer. There's actually a campaign mode that you can play. And if you play the campaign mode, you start at level 1 with your 4 heroes. Each hero has one of these one-time use action cards. You play through that dungeon. Any Space Marines that are wounded will remain wounded when you go to level 2. Any Space Marines that are dead remain dead. However, if you can call in reinforcements because there are actually 5 Space Marines in the game, you only ever use 4. So you have 1 extra Space Marine that you can call in as a reserve if you lose 1. If you lose more than 1, then you can only fill the slots that you can. So you will have a reduced team, which will make life more difficult. But any cards that you didn't use, you get to keep as you go into the next level, and you also get 1 new one as well. And then when you get through level 2, again, same thing applies. Any wounded Marines remain wounded, any dead Marines remain dead, but you get another 1-use card again. So if you don't use your cards as you're playing through, by the time you get to level 3, you could potentially have 3 action cards, but by the same token, you could have a significantly smaller force of Space Marines, which will make things difficult. But that's how the campaign works. And there is also a small deck of cards, which is like a challenge deck, which has extra hard cards and things that you can go. I haven't even opened that deck and looked at it yet, but it is some extra challenges and things that you can do. According to, like I say, I haven't even opened the deck, but according to the advanced rules section in the instruction manual, which I have right here, it says the challenge cards describe extra mission objectives that the team must complete in order to proceed through to the next levels of the Labyrinth. They provide an extra twist and add an extra level of difficulty. If you want to use these cards, you can either choose one as a team before the game begins, or you can shuffle them together and randomly pick one. True veterans of Space Marine adventures may want to use several challenge cards during the game, and all 6 when playing a campaign. See page XX, where the editor forgot to actually put in the page number. Nice. Place any challenge cards being used next to the mission briefing card for the current level so the extra rules for them are clearly visible. There are also extra Necron activation cards, which you can use for certain challenges, which means you can actually have up to 6 Necron activations in a turn. Oh yeah, and there are extra advanced Labyrinth cards. There are 2 cards for each Labyrinth in the level, which can be added to increase the difficulty. So, in addition to playing the game in its vanilla state, you have the campaign setting, and then once you've completed that, you can add in the extra advanced Labyrinth cards to make it more difficult. If you've managed that, you can add the challenge cards that give you extra objectives, and if you've managed that, you can add extra Necron activations. Incredibly customizable. And just a really neat game. I really, really, really like this game. I'm incredibly impressed with it. considering this was produced by Games Workshop to be a pick up off the shelf in Target or whatever, or Barnes & Noble, I guess, was where they were doing them. But it was supposed to be sort of a pick up and play game, and it really is incredibly simple. As you can see from my playthroughs, you draw a card and then you just draw another card for the Necrons, or you do your actions, which are either moving or attacking for the Space Marines. It's that simple, and yet there's constant decisions to be made, and even though in this particular playthrough I had a very easy time of it, it can get incredibly tense. And like I say, with all those extra challenge cards and things available, you can really tailor the game to be what you want it to be. Really fantastic. I do hope that at some point it becomes available in the UK, but I don't think it's looking that likely, to be honest, at the moment. But really, really good. If you can get a hold of a copy, I do actually recommend it. But that is it for this playthrough, and that is it for my series on Space Marine Adventures. Maybe one day I'll come back and try some of the challenges with the extra objectives, but I have lots of other things that I want to do on my channel, so this could well be it for now. As always, please leave your comments and queries down below. I will do my best to respond to everybody, and thank you to anybody who has made it to this point in the video. Thank you, everybody, and bye-bye.